Mr. Speaker, every year during the Blood Donation Week, we make announcements repeatedly over the media and we call for action on the floor of Parliament, and we can never seem to get enough people to donate towards the blood banks. Mr. Speaker, our children deserve more, and they should not be the ones carrying the burden of blood donation in this country. Granted, the youth carry the majority with regards to population, but certainly the adults should also play their role in making donations. Mr. Speaker, according to the WHO recommendations, the age for the criteria, the age for donation is between 18 and 65. And it can be around 16 or 17 with parental consent. But Mr. Speaker, given that in many of these schools and institutions, we have children who may be undernourished, putting that extra strain on these young children is unfair. Mr. Speaker, there are clear guidelines, there are standard operating procedures with regards to blood donation. And if these are followed to the letter, we should not be reporting cases of children or underage donors being hurt or being compromised in terms of their health when it comes to donation. And perhaps we need to have stricter enforcement with regards to the age group that can be approached with regards to the donation of blood, as well as stricter regulations on the enforcement of the criteria that must be used for the selection of people to donate blood. For example, for the hemoglobin levels in females, it must not be less than 12 grams per deciliter, and in males, not less than 13 grams per deciliter. And there are reasons why we have these, in order to prevent some of the outcomes that my colleague, who's also a medical professional on the other side, quite ably, clearly stated on his contribution. Mr. Speaker, we tend to have this situation where we wait for things to go wrong and start to lament. But the reality is we have all the policies and regulations in place. And perhaps what we need to do is stricter adherence to the guidelines that we have in place for all these procedures in order to minimize the effects of some of the lamentation that we end up going through at the end of such things. Blood donation is necessary, but we must not make children the ones who bear the burden of blood donation. And I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to grown-ups across the country to take it as their civic duty to contribute towards the blood banks by making regular blood donations. There are criteria that will be adhered to as per the guidelines, and let our children have an opportunity to be children and to reach that age where they too can give their consent as adults.